very famous Safra called Lev Eliyahu. And the Lev Eliyahu brings down a very deep idea when it comes to this week's parasha. The pasuk says, "Velokam naviot beYisrael ke Moshe," right? We didn't have another prophet like Moshe Rabbeinu. And the Gemara says, "BeYisrael lokam beumot haolam kam." In Eretz Israel, in Am Israel, we found another prophet like Moshe Rabbeinu. But by the Goyim, we found. And who was the Navi, the prophet by the Goyim that was like Moshe Rabbeinu? Bilam HaRasha. And the Midrash brings down that Bilam HaRasha was higher than Moshe Rabbeinu in certain levels. For example, the Midrash says, Moshe Rabbeinu, every time that God spoke to him, Moshe Rabbeinu needed to stand. And he brings the pasuk. By Bilam, the pasuk says, Nofel uglui einayim. What's Nofel uglui einayim? Even laying down, he was getting nevuah. Not only that, it says that by Moshe Rabbeinu, the nevuah that he was getting, right? Kivyachol, he didn't know when it's going to happen. By Bilam he knew. Shene'emar, Yodea da'at elyon. So we see that Bilam, and there is a whole list of things that we find that Bilam was in a higher level than Moshe Rabbeinu. Chazal is saying, why in the world are you going to give to a Rasha, to a Bilam, to a Goy, nevuah? So Chazal answers, because Borei Olam didn't want to get any type of comments from the Goyim. What's going to be the comment? God, it's not fair. If you were giving us a Navi, for sure we were doing Teshuvah. For sure we will fulfill Torah mitzvot. You did it, says Borei Olam. Now you have no pitchon peh. Now you cannot complain. Very good. But Rabbatai, I have a question. Why HaKadosh Baruch Hu decides to give nevuah? Let's go the other way around. How it's possible that a person will reach such a high level of prophecy and he will still be a Rasha? How is it possible? You see Borei Olam in front of you clear, no doubts, no nothing. You reach to the highest level. Am Israel, very interesting. Am Israel, what in Chet HaEgel is saying? Am Israel in Chet HaEgel, Chazal is saying that the sin was because of lack of Shekhinah. They got a bilbul. They were confused. Where is Moshe Rabbeinu? What's going to happen with us? We're in the middle of the desert. How it's possible that a person, meanwhile, is getting nevuah, not a regular nevuah, the level of Moshe Rabbeinu. By Moshe Rabbeinu, we know that the prophecy that he got was el pe adaber bo, like the pasuk says. Borei Olam spoke to him like I speak to you, face to face. How it's possible that a goy or that any person, meanwhile is getting the nevuah, he can do terrible avirot. But Rabotai, the worst of the worst. Open up the Gemara brings down about the donkey of Bilam, right? That Barminan did avirot together. What a low life. There is a famous midrash, says the Lev Eliyahu, that we all know. The midrash says, when Borei Olam split the sea, the Torah says, "Ra'ata shivcha al hayam ma shelo ra'a Yechezkel ben Buzi HaChozeh." Yechezkel ben Buzi was a prophet that saw Mar'ot Elokim, that saw all what happened in Shemayim. And the Midrash says, when Borei Olam split the sea, Ra'ata shivcha al hayam, a maid, a servant, saw prophecy in a higher level that what Yehezkel ben Buzi saw. Right? If you're telling me that the maid saw prophecies in the highest level, why do you call her maid? Shifcha, it's a very low title. If she's already a prophet, because she was able to reach to such a level, why Chazal are calling her Shifcha? And the answer says the Lev that there is two different types of prophecies. One type of prophecy is a prophecy that a person works upon himself to become a Navi. Open up the Rambam. The Rambam tells you what are the steps to be able to get to Nevuah. Not a joke. Not a simple thing. Gotta work on your midot, work on your Yirat Shamayim, work on the Anava, work on the Zarizut, on the Nekiyut. Once you reach to such a level, personal level, then you can get to Nevuah, to prophecy. Says the Lev, that's one type of prophecy. That a person will work upon himself to become a prophet. By the time of the Nevi'im, there were yeshivot of Nevi'im. You know that? Yeshivot of Nevi'im. How do you do the yeshiva of Nevi'im exactly? The answer is, you prepare the students, right? You prepare their midot and their Yirat Shamayim to be able to get to the level of being a recipient of Nevuah. Now, either Borei Olam choose you and he speaks to you or not. But at least you did your part by making it the proper recipient. That was a regular Nevuah of our Nevi'im that we had in history. But says the Lev, there's another type of Nevuah. A Nevuah that comes without preparation. A Nevuah that comes because Borei Olam wants you to hear him, and he decides to give you a Nevuah right away. Says the Lev, this type of a Nevuah doesn't change any midot. You're the same guy. Just at the moment of the Nevuah, you're in a different dimension. Says the difference, what is it? As soon as the Nevuah is out, the animal remains. The same person with the same negative qualities remain. And that's why you can be a Rasha and being a Navi. Says the Lev, Rabotai, I don't think that this is only for Nevi'im. This is also for us. You don't have to reach to Navi. A person who doesn't work upon himself is midot. So all of us are going to have moments that are going to be moments of inspiration, moments of greatness, moments that we feel connected with Hashem. How many times it happened? I don't know about you. I can tell you about me. Yom Kippur, right at the middle of Ne'ilah, you feel an angel. You're touching the skies. Know what happened? Know what happened? Motzei Yom Kippur. Okay, Motzei Yom Kippur, people starting to do all type of averot. How come? Half an hour ago, you were touching skies. What happened? Yes, Borei Olam gives to all of us moments of inspiration. The problem is that if we don't work upon ourselves, we don't try to be Oved al Amidot, those moments of inspiration, says the Lev, the same way how they came, that's how they leave. The only way to maintain and to remain that Kedusha, if you're able to make a recipient to keep that moment of inspiration. That recipient can be done only by working upon your midot, learning Musar, and having time of an effort. It's not easy. Controlling the anger, controlling your thoughts, of not thinking negative about other people, controlling your mouth, of not talking bad about other people. When a person works upon his midot, then you get to a different level. You know, Gdolei Ador, they were always an example of how should look a person that is working his midot. One of the stories that is mechazek very much was one time by Chacham Ovadia Yosef. Chacham Ovadia Yosef, as we know, he had at the end of his life a shul under his house. Not even under, I think it was the same floor. And he had tefillot shacharit mincha arvit. People were coming, were praying with the rabbi. One time, they tell the rabbi, now the rabbi used to be always the Baal Koreh. If he had a strength, he was reading the Torah. Shani v'chamishi, Shabbatot, whenever he could. One time, they told him, Rabbi, there is a bar mitzvah boy that wants to read his parasha this Monday or Thursday. He wants to do it with you. So, no problem. Mr. Haraba. So, the boy came with all his family, and the boy stood up, started to read, but because he was too nervous, so he made a couple of mistakes, especially when he said, "Vaydaber Hashem el Moshe lemor." Why? Because the one who taught him, right, he was telling him Hashem instead of the name of Hashem. Yud Kevavke, he was telling him to say Hashem. It's not correct, but that's how he taught him. And he told him, whenever you will read, you say the real name of Hashem. But the boy was nervous, and he says, "Vaydaber Hashem and Moshe lemor." But the rabbi was next to him, and he told him, no. Right? Say the name of Hashem. So he became more nervous, and he repeated again, "Vaydaber Hashem and Moshe lemor." And one more time the rabbi told him, and one more time, and the third, fourth time, the rabbi said, no. So the boy got wake up a little bit, and he pronounced it well, and he finished his reading. Okay. The tefillah was over, and the rabbi was finishing his tefillah. He finished the halakha yomit. He was walking towards the door that takes him to the apartment. Then he stops. He turns back, and he starts looking around. Tell him, Rabbi, what are you looking for? He says, I'm looking for the boy. Where's the bar mitzvah boy? You can imagine the whole minyan is looking for the boy. If the rabbi is looking for the boy, everybody's looking for the boy. They're looking around, they don't find him. The cousin of the boy was there, and he says to the rabbi, Rabbi, the bar mitzvah boy is my cousin. I can call him if the rabbi needs. He says, no, take him to his house. So, no, but Rabbi, no, I'm going to bring him. No, take me to his house. So, but what happened? He says, please, take me to his house. The cousin felt uncomfortable. He says, you know what, Rabbi, I promise you, I will bring you my cousin right away. He says, okay. He went. Eventually, after 5 minutes, he brings the boy. And then, as soon as the boy comes closer to the rabbi starts crying like a baby. He says, please, Mechila, forgive me. I made you feel bad. With tears. I mean, the rabbi was over 80, right? Crying to this boy, 13 years old, that please he should forgive him, and he embarrassed him, and he feels so bad. And the boy, of course, right away, of course, Rabbi, and then fine. And the rabbi was not calm until he told the boy, from now on, every time that you would like to enter to my house, you have an open entrance. Nobody will be allowed to tell you stop, wait for later, for nothing. Whenever you will like, my house is your house. You see a gadol ador. That what did he do? He educated a kid and he teach him how to pronounce. And there was Torah Tzibur, and according to Halakha, was okay to rebuke him. But yet, what about the feelings? That's Avodat HaMidot. When a person works on his Midot, the Torah that he gets and the Kedusha and the inspirement that he gets remains by him. But if not, the same way that he came, you will lose it. So here it's on the Borei Olam will give us the strength to be Oved al Midot, learning Musar, trying to control our Midot, and Be'ezrat Hashem, our Torah will remain by us, and it will increase every single day more. Baruch Adonai Le'olam, Amen, Amen. Rabbi Abraham Azancot,